back to another recipe video on Cook with Cartea. Yeah, we back. So, y'all know holiday season is here and it's time to go ahead and get into those holiday dishes. So, y'all seen the thumbnail and y'all see clearly what we got in front of us. We got some turkey wings right here. So, if you don't want to make that traditional whole turkey or, you know, that ham, however you want to do it and you want to switch it up a little bit, you could probably use this recipe. Just get you some wing cuts and go ahead and get it busting with them. So look, we ain't gonna waste too much time with the intro. We just gonna go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, y'all see we got these turkey wings right here in front of us. So let's just go ahead and get right into the recipe. Let's get started. All right, y'all, so first thing, you know, we got our turkey wings right here. Now you could buy the turkey wings. You know, sometimes they still got the wings still attached to them. You could get those and just chop that wing off. These ones, they came packaged up like this already cut, made it nice and easy for us. So we got our turkey wings right here. We got 4. So we're gonna go ahead and we got this water right here. We're gonna go ahead and give them a little, you know, a little rinse, a little clean. All right, y'all, so turkey wings, we got them rinsed off, cleaned up. So now what we wanna do is we just wanna go ahead and take each one and pat them dry, because what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be frying the turkey wings. So we're gonna get a good fry, so you wanna make sure that they're nice and dry so that we can get a good crisp skin. So we just gonna pat dry, paper towel, and then we just gonna set them off to the side. We're gonna do that with each one. All right, y'all, we got our wings right here, dried up. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just put a season coat on there. So really, how you wanna season, you could do just, you know, like a light, just all-purpose type of seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and then we're gonna throw a little smoked paprika on there, and then we're gonna throw a little, just a little Cajun seasoning on there as well, you know, just to give it a little extra kick. We're not gonna go too heavy on the seasoning right here, because we are going to do a buttermilk marinade, so we also going to be seasoning that as well. So let's just get these seasoned up, coated nice and good on each side. Onion powder, garlic powder, and these is some big wings, so you know, like I said, you know, you could do a light coat, but you know, still be conscious of the size of the wings. Smoked paprika, and then let's just pat him a little bit. Make sure we get that seasoning on there. We're gonna flip and then hit the other side. Alright, so we got our bowl, we got our wings right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get this buttermilk in here. So as y'all know, you know, in previous videos, that buttermilk, we're gonna put it in the buttermilk for, you know, about 3 to 4 hours. One thing about the turkey, when the turkey come out, you want it to be juicy, you want it to be tender, you want it to be flavorful. So one of the things that's gonna help with that tenderness is putting it in that buttermilk marinade, because the buttermilk, it helps break down those fibers in the meat. When we get our wings into the buttermilk, we're gonna season just a little bit more. Now before I put the wings in here, I'm gonna just go ahead and just season it up. So it's gonna be the same stuff, all-purpose seasoning. Alright, so we got that going. Now what I wanna do is let's go ahead and just get our turkey wings in here. Now we got our turkey wings in here, so we're just gonna go ahead and just mix it around. Remember, you got all that seasoning in there. Now you know, you can mix the seasoning around before you put the wings into the buttermilk, but I mean, you're gonna mix it around anyway, so it's up to you. So yeah, we're just gonna mix it around, make sure, you know, each wing is coated pretty good and covered well into that buttermilk. Now we got these all coated up, buttermilk, seasoned, everything. So we're gonna go ahead and just stick these in the fridge. Like I said, about 3 to 4 hours, because you want to make sure that that buttermilk break down those fibers, and you know it get coated real well, and it just sit for a minute. All right, y'all. So look, we back. After about, like I said, after about 4 hours with our turkey wings and that buttermilk, look, we good now. We're gonna get this oil temp up to 350. So we're gonna pull the wings out the buttermilk, and then what we want to do is we want to drain that excess as much as we can, and then we're going to come right here. Try not to let it splash everywhere. We're going to come right here, and then we're going to dry them off, pat them, just pat dry as much as we can. And we're going to do that for each one, and then we're going to get it in the oil. Just kind of pat it dry like that. That's good. So we probably gonna, give these about 10 to 12 minutes. After about 15-20 minutes, look at that color, that real good crisp that we got on there. Yes, sir. It's a nice fry right there. We got a little baking sheet with a little rack on it. We're gonna spray that down, and we're gonna grab our wings. We're gonna drain that oil off, and we're gonna bring them over here to our cooling rack. And then we're just gonna let them rest for a little bit. And all while we letting them rest, we're gonna bring our oil up to about 370, 375. And then we're gonna do a quick fry. So the next fry, when we get that temp up, we're gonna probably fry them for about like 3 to 5 minutes, just to get that real crisp on there to finish them off. All right, y'all, so we got our wings off to the side, and we have our oil in the back. We letting it heat up. So in the meantime, what we're gonna do is real quick, we just gonna make that honey garlic sauce that we're gonna put on top of these wings. We're gonna go ahead and make this sauce real quick. We're gonna add about a stick of butter, depending on how much you wanna make. But we're just gonna start off with a stick of butter. We on a low heat. Let that butter melt down. Go ahead and add some minced garlic in here. You could use garlic paste, or you can use some garlic cloves. We're gonna let this cook down. All right, let's go ahead and add some honey in there. A little salt, a little pepper. We're gonna add some lemon. Give it a little acidity to go and cut through that sweetness just a little bit. Now once we start to get to a bubble, we're gonna kill that heat, and then we just gonna kind of just let it work with the residual heat. Add that parsley in there. So we're gonna let that kind of come off the heat, cool down a little bit, and then we got that honey garlic. We're back with that oil up to temp. Like I said, about 370, 375. We'll throw these in here, and we're gonna give them a quick fry. Like I said, about like 5 minutes. We just want to finish off that crisp. A little shock fry. Get that crisp on there. Yes, sir. All right, y'all, so y'all see, we got our honey garlic fried turkey wings. So look, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm ready to go ahead and get these a little taste. Let's see what's to it. Oh. Look at that.